Hey guys, it is Thursday, March the 26th, and we are on day 9 of digital learning. So I hope that everything is going well at home. I hope that the lessons are coming together easily. I hope that these videos are helping. You know that if you have any questions throughout this process that you can email me or you can visit the Google Classroom and ask any questions there. You can also comment back and forth with your classmates and kind of collaborate together. So sorry, there's this glare on my glasses today. But I hope you're well. I hope you're healthy. And let's review what we did yesterday. Okay, we're going to start out with our math warm-up. So I'm going to hold up my sheet so that you can kind of see how it looked. But I have also scanned all of these documents so that you can pull them up on your computer and compare your work to mine. That way we know that we're all on the same page. If there's a mistake that we notice, we can address it and fix it so that we can continue to improve on our math skills. Okay? So here's the warm-up from yesterday. It's talking about Heidi, you know, the big spender, she went to the mall. So we need to find out how much money she spent on jewelry when she was at the mall based on the information that the question gives us. So, says big spender Heidi had $100. Okay, we know that she bought a shirt for $23.59. We know that she got some shoes for $39.99, but we want to find out how much she spent on jewelry. In order to do that, you need to add the price of the shirt and the price of the shoes to find out the total of those two items. So the shirt is $23.59 plus the shoes, which are $39.99. So when you add those two items together, you should have gotten the total of $63.58. But that does not mean that that's the end of the question. Okay, we still need to find out how much she spent on the jewelry. So it says that she spent every dime she brought to the mall. So we know if she brought $100, we need to do 100 minus the cost of the shirt and the shoes, which we know was $63.58. So $100 minus $63.58 gives us the total of $36.42. That is how much money she spent on jewelry. So this document, my work, has been scanned in, and you can compare it to your work at home, and it will show you how I came up with that answer, and it will, I label each step so that you can see what needs to be done. If you had trouble with that or you need me to go over it in another way, you can just comment on this video or you can shoot me an email and we will make sure that you are on the right track. Okay? As for your career journal yesterday, there's a discussion that's open in the Google Classroom so we can talk about it. Now, Megan, you've been doing a good job of going in and we've kind of talked back and forth about some of your career ideas. So if any of you guys want to get on that Google Classroom and tell me your thoughts that you put in your journal, I would love to respond back to you and we can kind of talk that way. Okay, so yesterday talked about what's a job that you would find interesting. It doesn't have to be one that you want to pursue after high school, but just something that you think is really neat or different. Okay, so that is the journal for yesterday. And then the next thing is we worked on interview skills on Wednesday. The second activity in interview skills. Let me get there. So this section talked about manners that you need to have when you're in the workplace, just to make sure that you are maintaining appropriateness when you're at work. You never want to think or have people think that you're taking advantage of this situation at work. This is not social time. It isn't, let me see what I can get away with. These are rules that you should follow when you're at work so that you can prove what a good job you're doing and how important that job is to you. So, the activity that went along with yesterday's reading for career skills was called Charting Business Manners. So I'm going to hold up again and show you my example, but this has also been scanned in so that you can view it on your own time. And everyone's is going to look different because the rules that I chose might not be the same ones that you chose, and that's okay. I went with rule number 1, rule number 6, and rule number 9. So I chose these rules and I put them here in this column, but then I also explained why they're important and what they mean to me. So as long as you did that with yours, then you should be in good shape, okay? So I said, for example, rule number 1 talks about showing up to work on time. And I explained that showing up to work on time shows that you care about your job and that you respect your coworkers. If I were to show up late every day, that makes it harder for other people to do their job. So I believe that number 1 is an important rule to follow in the workplace. So like I said, yours might be different, and that's okay. And once we get back in the classroom, we'll be able to share all this stuff a little bit easier. But for now, just make sure that you're taking your notes and you're doing the best you can. Remember to review my notes. And then that way, if there's adjustment that needs to be made, we can handle it, and I can help you if there's anything you need help with. So, here we go. Thursday the 26th. These are your assignments. If you want to flip back to your March calendar, you know that everybody has one of these right in the front of their notebook. This tells you what is expected of you for that day, but I've also uploaded this onto my website so that if for some reason this goes missing or whatever, you can still see what is required there. So for today, we're going to start out with a math warm-up. After the math warm-up, I'm going to go over the career journal and kind of break it down into simpler terms so that you can complete that activity on your own. And then we're going to do one more kitchen basics activity for this week, and it deals with an accident action plan. So this is just to prevent accidents and things like that in the kitchen so that you can be successful with your cooking skills and helping mom and dad, what you should be doing while you're at home during this digital learning time frame. Also, tomorrow on Friday the 27th, you will get your Read-Aloud for The Messenger for Chapter 7. So I have had that uploaded on the website since Tuesday, I believe. So you have been able to listen to it on Tuesday. You could have listened to it on Wednesday. You can listen to it today. It'll still be up tomorrow. It will be up throughout the entire digital learning experience. You can always just go back and find it on the tab that says Day-to-Day Digital Learning. But anyway, that's that. That summarizes what we're getting into. So let's jump in. As you know, we start out with math. If I'm going too fast, if you need to go back and review anything, go for it. That's the wonderful thing about these videos is you can pause, you can rewind, you can fast forward if you're tired of hearing me talk. But here is what today looks like. March the 26th. Okay, and this talks about some more purchases being made because all of us have goals that deal with money and its value and being able to make purchases appropriately in the community. So these are just silly examples, but they really do help, okay? So this is another guy, sounds like he's at the mall. He wants to buy a pair of jeans, very expensive jeans, Marcus does, for $68.47. He also wants shoes that are going to be $32.58. So he's going to buy these two items, but as we know, when you make purchases in the community, you have to pay taxes. Okay, so this question also incorporates the fact that he pays $9.85 in taxes. How much did he spend total? So this is not asking us to make change. It's simply wanting to know how much Marcus is paying for jeans and shoes with tax included. So I'm going to show you how I broke that down over here. My handy whiteboards. So this is our math warm-up for the 26th. We already know that Marcus wants to buy jeans that are $68.47, more expensive jeans than I own. He also wants shoes that are $32.58. So if you add these two items, it's going to give you a subtotal. And I know we've worked on this when we've gone to the mall and the food court and stuff. The subtotal is how much all of your items cost before the tax is added in. Okay, so I want you to add $68.47 plus $32.58. And remember to include those decimals when you're putting these in the calculator or when you're writing them on paper. You have to remember the decimal because otherwise, if you forget, your total is going to be totally crazy. So 68.47 plus 32.58. That's going to give you this pre-tax total. Those two items together will give you a total. Next, I want you to add the tax to that. We know that he paid $9.85 in taxes. So that's 9.85. You will take that tax number, add it to the total of the jeans and the shoes, and that will give you the exact amount of money that was spent. Okay? The jeans, the shoes, and the tax. So it's essentially these three numbers all added together to give us a total spent. If you need to pause it here to see how I've broken this down, go ahead and pause your screen and you can work it out. If it takes you 10 minutes, you can keep it paused for 10 minutes and then we can move on to our journal for today. Okay, so career journal. Let's flip to that tab. This is going to be at the bottom of the second page. It says Thursday, March the 26th, and it looks like this. I've already made a few notes in mine, and the notes that I've made are kind of a summary of what I'm asking you. You can write in sentences for these. It can be paragraph form. I just want you to write the best you can. And as you know, you can go to the Google Classroom so that we can discuss our journals. So, I'm going to read it aloud to you if you follow along. Thursday, March the 26th, 2020. Question number 4. Would the amount of college or training required past high school keep you from applying for a particular program? Would you be willing to extend your education and possible student loan debt for your dream job? Why would it be or not be worth it to spend more time in a post-secondary environment? Okay, so to break that question down, what I really want to know from you are these things. Does your dream job require more training after high school? A lot of jobs will require training, like on-site job training, some of the stuff that we do in the community, like at Friends or Shenanigans. But if you don't know if your dream job does require more training, research it, okay? You can just go to Google and type in your dream job and just read a little bit about it to see if you do need to go to more school, if they do offer on-site job training, or if there's an internship program. That means that you can go and kind of volunteer and work in these places to see how everything runs. And so yeah, this might take a little bit of research, but you can do it. And that'll kind of give you a good idea of what your path might look like once you exit high school and graduate. Okay, are we good? Let's see. So yesterday we did interview skills. So today we are back to kitchen skills. So that is the last tab in your notebook. Here it says kitchen skills, kitchen basics. We're going there. So we've already done the safety first activity, and that is scanned and under the answer key tab on my website. So if you ever need to check any of your work again, or maybe you get behind or you get confused, you can compare your work to mine. It'll always be uploaded a day after the activity is assigned. Okay, so I'm not going to give you the answers while you're doing it, but if you do your best, you know that the next day on the website you can check it and compare your stuff. Okay, so this is called the Accident Action Plan. It's labeled page number 8 at the bottom, but I'll show you what it looks like so that you know what I'm talking about. It has some tips in case these accidents happen while you're in the kitchen. And then the next page is what we're going to do together. It's 4 questions, multiple choice. Sorry, I just heard this random noise downstairs. Y'all know it's Roomba. I gotta turn it off before the girls wake up from nap. Sorry. Okay, turned it off. All right, sorry for that interruption. That is learning from home. We have that kind of stuff pop up. Okay, accident action plan. Are we ready? If an accident does happen, here are some guidelines for care. So if there's a fall that happens, this is the first section. Do not move a person with broken bones. That's an emergency situation and you should call 911. So if someone falls really bad, do not try to move them if they don't feel like they're able to move. Call 911. The next point says to call for medical help if a person hits their head and has a headache, dizziness, vomiting, or slurred speech. That typically means that they've had a concussion and they do need medical help there. So that is not something that you can handle at home. You need to seek medical help. Mild bruises or sprains need rice. That does not mean that you need to eat rice if you get a bruise. Rice stands for rest, ice, compression, and elevation. That means that if I hurt my ankle but it's not broken, I need to give my ankle rest. I need to put ice on my ankle, use some compression, and I also need to elevate it. That means if I'm laying on the couch, maybe I put a pillow under my foot so that it elevates it. So that's mild bruisings or sprains. These are things that you can handle at home. If it's a serious injury, you need to seek medical help. You should always ask an adult, ask your mom, ask a teacher. But if you get a bruise on your leg, you do not need to call 911. You need to follow the RICE advice, which is rest it, ice it, compression, and elevation. Next, fires. Okay, if there's a fire in your kitchen, you need to always remember to turn off appliances after you use them. That will prevent a fire from being caused. You also, if there is a fire, you always need to call an adult or you need to call emergency services. But to extinguish a fire, you can use baking soda, salt, or a fire extinguisher, not water. I know it seems like the best thing to do would be to pour a bucket of water on a fire, but that can actually cause a fire to spread at times. And if the fire involves oil and you put water on it, it will definitely spread. Okay, so baking soda, salt, or a fire extinguisher, not water, to put out a fire. If you are involved in a fire and your clothing gets caught, do you guys remember from elementary school when they tell you to stop, drop, and roll? That is the instructions. If I were to get this sleeve caught on fire, I need to stop, drop, and roll. You need to smother the fire out. And then finally, use cold water to cool a burn. Prolonged ice will freeze tissue. So have you guys ever gotten a burn like on your finger and it feels like it will never go away? Maybe you touched a pan that was hot, but it feels like it will never get better. You need to get cold water, and you can put it in like a bowl, or you can hold your hand under the sink. But cold water to cool a burn, because if you just hold ice on it, that can freeze your skin, the tissue, okay? Next, cuts. If you get minor cuts, you need to just simply wash them with soap and water. Blot it dry, don't rub it. Just blot it and apply a bandage. Okay, if you have severe bleeding, you need to apply pressure with a thick cloth and get medical help. So if you cut yourself pretty bad, you need to squeeze wherever you have been cut. You hold it very tightly, you apply pressure, and then you definitely need to seek medical help. You should always talk to a parent. You should not be using things in the kitchen without adult supervision if they could cause a cut or cause a fire. So always have some type of supervision until you become an expert in all of these things. So finally, electrical safety. Do not touch a person that is connected to electricity. So if you see an accident where maybe, you get an electric shock from working with electrical appliances, if someone has been shocked, I know your initial reaction is to go up and pull them away, but that electric current can travel. So what you need to do is turn off the power, and then this activity advises that you pull a plug or pull the person away with a cloth loop. And that explains that it's a sheet or a towel that you use to kind of pull the person away, because you do not just want to like run up and grab them, because it can be transferred to you. Hopefully we never find ourselves in any of those situations, because these are some serious accidents. But it is important to have an accident action plan in place so that you are aware that these things can happen and how you can fix them. Okay, so on the next page, it's the accident action plan worksheet. You're going to answer questions 1 through 4. I'm going to read them, and I'm going to read the answer options for you. And then tomorrow, after you've answered these on your own, I will upload my answer key and you can compare. Okay, question number 1. Should I pour water on a grease fire? A, no. Water will spread a grease fire. I should put baking soda on a grease fire. B, no. Water can splash hot grease. I should smother a grease fire with baking soda. Or C, both answers are correct. Question number 2. Should I call 911 for a minor cut? Remember, minor means that it is not that big of a deal. So, should I call 911 for a minor cut? A, yes, that's what they're there for. B, yes, you know I hate blood. C, no, I can treat a minor cut at home. Question number 3. Why shouldn't I use a chair to reach high places? Now, this is something that we talked about in the previous section too. Why shouldn't you use a chair to reach high places? A, falling from chairs is a major reason people end up in the emergency room. B, a step stool or a step ladder are both secure and made for reaching high shelves. Or C, both answers are correct. Number 4, why shouldn't I just grab somebody who is being shocked by electricity? A, it's yucky. B, it's okay to grab someone who's being shocked. Or C, I should turn off the power and use the cloth loop first. So remember the method that we talked about on the previous page. You can use your notes to answer these questions, okay? But questions 1 through 4, just pick A, B, or C, and then I will upload my responses for you to compare them to tomorrow. So, that's everything. Sorry, today's a 25-minute video. I'm sorry it was so long, but I think we went over everything and we went through today's activities. And then you got to let me pause for 30 seconds to turn off the Roomba downstairs so that it didn't wake the girls up during nap time. I guess that's it. I miss you guys. I love you. I hope that you're well. I hope you are helping your family out at home during this time, picking up extra chores or helping cook or helping with laundry and different adult living skills like that. Continue to practice that stuff at home. I hope to see you soon. Email me if you have any questions, and I love you. Bye.